Hello, everybody. I've got some exciting news. We are in the process of launching a faith-based credit union, and so we'd like to welcome you to fill out a survey that is going to be used in the application process. You can go to revivaltoday.com/credit union and fill that out. And thanks ahead of time for filling it out and being a part of this great journey in the world of finance.
This is Jonathan Shuttlesworth. The prayer that Jesus left us with was to pray for laborers to go out into the harvest field. If there's one thing this last school shooting showed us, if there was ever a time that America needed a new generation of workers in the harvest field, it's now. That's why we're raising up those ministers and workers at Revival Today Bible Institute. Our inaugural class is this September. If you've been moved recently in your spirit that I want to do something to affect my generation for eternity, this is the place to come and get trained. We start this September. You can apply today at revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com. I want you to join this army that God's raising up. The devil's not going to write the last chapter of your generation. You and many others are going to get raised up in the power of the Holy Spirit, go forth with the Word of God, and take one more run with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Will you join us? Apply today, revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com, and I'll see you this fall.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Friday. Lyric. Twin 2 Chanel. It was good to meet you yesterday. Jay Headwaters. Red Day. Yes, pre-market it is looking like a red day. But what else is new? Joanne. Everybody, welcome. D&D Investments. Wayne from Guatemala. Welcome to Check the Market, Check the News. Mindy, yes, happy 4th weekend to you too. America, Ninja. Jeff.
She's trying not to fangirl.
No, it's always nice to meet people that watch the show. I enjoy it. Scott, good morning to you. Johnny, good morning. Patrick. Justin, good morning. Well, welcome everybody. Make sure you share the broadcast. Is crypto going to go back up anytime soon? And is the EPA finished? We had some Justin. Lori, good morning to you. And Kenny. Man.
Got a good crowd today.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What are you growing, McLeod?
Do you want to ask?
Yeah. Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. No green stuff.
No.
Stay away from all green stuff.
Well, lettuce.
Some lettuce is ranked better than others.
Buy the dip on silver. Well, man, you know what? I haven't bought silver, I think, in the last 2 months. I need to
Really?
buy some silver, yeah. I completely forgot. Thanks for the reminder. I've been looking at crypto and stuff, vegetables only. Look at that.
Way to go. Way to go. Proud of you.
That is true, Kenny. Awesome. All right, well, let's take a look at the news, see what's going on.
See what's going on. Joe Biden wants Senate Democrats to change filibuster and pass a bill for abortions up to birth nationwide. He's a little bit late on this one, but we won't read the article. It's ridiculous anyway because Roe was literally just overturned by SCOTUS. But I believe it was Senator Simic and Joe Manchin are standing in the way of this. So very proud of them. Very proud of them. But Joe's still pushing, regardless. Next. CNN. What do you say to those families that say, listen, we can't afford to pay $4.85 a gallon for months, if not years? Biden advisor Brian Deese says this is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm. Go for it.
Sustainable. What do you say to those families who say, listen, we can't afford to pay $4.85 a gallon for months, if not years. This is just not sustainable.
What we heard from the president today was a clear articulation of the stakes. This is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm.
It's not the new world order, it's not the liberal world order.
It's the liberal world order.
Where were the, where's the days where it was just the new world order?
I like the new world order better than the liberal world order.
For sure.
Stupid people. Stop changing everything.
McLeod's growing lettuce, zucchini, corn, and tomatoes. Let me tell you something. There is nothing better than a fresh tomato right out of the garden.
Yes, I agree.
I eat it like an apple.
Yes.
It's delicious. I know some people hate that, but I love it.
It's amazing. We used to grow these incredible baby tomatoes, like grape tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then we also had like a basil plant right nearby, so we would literally just go out there,
Just grab it.
grab and wrap it with basil. And
All you need is some mozzarella, some fresh mozzarella.
No.
No? All right.
Jesus, gross, man. Yuck. Don't ruin it for me. Next. That's a stinking campaign slogan for the 2022 midterms from the New York Post. Biden, high gas prices to last as long as it takes for Ukraine victory. So he's not giving up on Ukraine. I think the rest of the world is kind of slowly giving up, but not Biden. Biden loves democracy. So, next. I'd ask about Clarence Thomas, but I know what they think he is. They just said all week. From Good Morning America, Ketanji Brown Jackson is sworn in as the first Black Supreme Court justice in U.S. history. I think it's going to be hilarious when they have the official picture with Clarence Thomas in the picture with her and all of the spam that GMA is going to get in the comments on this.
This is like real?
Oh, this is real. Yes. You can go to GMA on Twitter and you will see this tweet.
What?
Yes. And I'm totally blanking on the name of the other Black justice, but there was another SCOTUS justice who was actually Black. So GMA, all these millennials or Gen Zers running GMA's Twitter account have no idea what they're talking about. Thought it was funny.
I'm going to have to look this up just so I can... I'm going to
verify.
Bookmark it so that I can read the comments because I love reading comments.
You have to bookmark
like
it and screenshot it because I bet you anything they're going to delete this at some point because it's so dumb.
And I got it up.
Nice. Next. Next. It's okay when we do it! ! Prince Charles took more than 20 private flights within the UK to avoid being stuck in traffic. Fears of conflict between future king's travel and his role as a green champion.
If you're such a green champion, you should just go back to horse and buggy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. But interestingly enough, the EU has passed some sort of it's not a bill, but they made a statement essentially that the elites of the EU get to bypass all the green emissions.
Yes, of course.
Everything that they're pushing. So yeah, he's in that thing. That
he's
is
at the very
EU.
top.
Yes, he is. Next. Stephen Colbert mocks SCOTUS religious freedom decision and gets roasted. I don't want to read it because we're going to cover this later, but he did get roasted. It was wonderful to see. Next. SCOTUS's Biden administration does not have to abide by Remain in Mexico immigration policy. Let's see it. On Thursday, the last day before the Supreme Court breaks for the summer, a majority of the justices ruled on the side of the Biden administration in regards to the Trump administration immigration policy dubbed Remain in Mexico. In the opinion written by Chief Justice John Roberts, the court ruled that the Biden administration can legally end the policy known formally as the Migrant Protection Protocols. Continue. The protocol required that those seeking asylum in the U.S. along the southern border wait in Mexico as their cases are decided. The case was ruled in favor of the Biden administration in a 5-4 split, with Brett Kavanaugh, Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan concurring with Roberts' opinion, and Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and Samuel Alito dissenting. Biden had vowed to suspend the program the day he was inaugurated, seeking later that year to terminate the protocol altogether. According to the opinion, the District Court and the Court of Appeals, however, held that doing so would violate the Immigration and Nationality Act, concluding that the return policy was mandatory so long as illegal entrants were being released into the United States. Continue. Roberts wrote that the DHS did not have sufficient detention capacity to maintain in custody every single person described in Section 1225 of the INA, and that in light of that fact, the Trump administration chose to implement MPP, and part of that certain aliens attempting to enter the U.S. illegally or without documentation, including those who claim asylum, will no longer be released into the country, where they often fail to file for asylum application and or disappear before an immigration judge can determine the merits of any claim. And this just goes on and on with their opinions and dissents. So interesting to see that 5-4 split. Who was siding with who? Kavanaugh went on with Roberts. I'm not too surprised with Kavanaugh's background, though.
Do you think sometimes, though, that they like decide, okay, you're going to go out of the conservatives. They like have a meeting. They're like, okay, Brett, it's your turn. Or Amy, it's your turn. Or something like that, right? Because I just so it's like a 5-4 split.
Yes, I can see that happening, just because. But the thing is the courts are not supposed to be political. That's the thing for me. But being in politics, government, whatever, that happens all the time. Just to be like, oh, there is a true balance of power here.
Yes.
We're very objective in how we rule. So I can see that happening. I wish it wasn't happening if it is. But when you see stuff like this happen,
because sometimes it surprises you. It's like, oh, some of the things that Brett Kavanaugh agrees with, or then you're like, wait, is he really a conservative? Or Neil Gorsuch does it, and you're like, what? Yeah. I thought that he was like one of the most conservative judges.
Exactly.
There's always like the staples. So there's Clarence Thomas and Alito.
Always
right?
consistent.
Always consistent.
Yep.
And then there's Neil Gorsuch that I would put like, okay, he's more like on the conservative side, consistent. And then Amy and Brett were on a first name basis.
Yeah.
They just like switch.
Yes. Yeah, it is kind of strange, but I mean, it's the newer justices that do it, right?
Yeah.
So ever since Roberts on, Gorsuch with it being the exception, but it's like they just switch all the time.
Yeah.
The new ones. So I don't know. I hope they're not that political, but they kind of are at this point. So
I wonder if they all go on summer break together, like on vacation, all the justices, Panama City Beach or something.
I would hope not. So one or two of them might not come back, but next. Yeah, exactly, McLeod. They need to interpret the law only. I agree. From Tulsi Gabbard, we celebrate today's Supreme Court decision to protect our right to religious freedom and speech, Kennedy versus Bremerton School. Yes. Given to us by God and recognized in the U.S. Constitution, separation of church and state doesn't mean excising religious and spiritual values from our society. So this was the football coach who went all the way to the Supreme Court. You're surprised?
She's getting more conservative like by the day.
No, she's a classical liberal. She's a classical liberal.
She's a libertarian. She's becoming more of a libertarian.
She's becoming more libertarian, and I think it's because of how heavy-handed the leftist push is.
Yeah.
So she has to figure out like what side am I going to be on, because she's not a centrist anymore.
No.
She can't claim to be a centrist, but at the same time, old centrist, which is classical liberal.
Yeah.
So as time goes on, those lines start to be pushed farther and farther to the left, which means those people who are in the right or in the middle start to appear to be more on the right.
Like Elon Musk.
Like Elon Musk.
Who's now a basically a right-wing fanatic at this point.
Other than Tesla, other than his company, Tesla is providing travel money for travel for women to go get abortions. So
Yeah,
that's not really a conservative thing to do as a company, but whatever. Next. Today, SCOTUS ruled that EPA climate zealots can't enact radical, job-killing, grid-destroying, price-hiking emissions regulations without congressional authorization. This is a major victory for energy freedom, the Constitution, and the American people. Let's read it. High Court says agency overstepped its authority in restricting greenhouse gas emissions in a ruling with ramifications for other regulators. Continue. Money is a sticking point in climate change negotiations around the world, as economists warn that limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius will cost many more trillions than anticipated. The Wall Street Journal looks at how the funds could be spent and who would pay. Continue. In the majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts said the Environmental Protection Agency had exceeded its authority when it devised a regulatory scheme to limit emissions from coal power plants. The court said that when federal agencies issue regulations with sweeping economic and political consequences, in this case, rules to address climate change, the regulations are presumably invalid unless Congress has specifically authorized the action. Quote, the decision of such magnitude and consequence rests with Congress itself or an agency acting pursuant to a clear delegation from that representative body, the Chief Justice wrote, faulting the EPA for finding new powers in the vague language of a long, extant, but rarely used statute. Beyond the EPA, the decision is likely to rein in President Biden's ability to use... This is insane, this part here. To rein in President Biden's ability to use other departments and regulators such as the Treasury Department, the Securities and Exchange Commission, which we all love here, and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to address climate change, one of his signature policy initiatives. Continue.
Which I sent this article in too, but...
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The SEC was bringing out rules and regulations for businesses. So if you are a publicly traded company, right? Because the SEC doesn't have any authority over private companies.
Right.
But if you're a publicly traded company and you do business with a small business,
yeah,
that small business has to provide to the public company and then to the SEC,
yep,
their ESG guidelines. Like, what are they doing to limit greenhouse gases?
Yep.
Which is a serious overreach. But this ruling here is going to make that
all of
yeah.
it.
And the SEC
awesome.
already said, well, we don't have the authority to police that, but a lot of those corporations were going to do it anyway.
Yep.
Because they're like, well, what are you doing about it? Because we're
Yep, exactly.
we're your father or whatever.
Yes.
So
this is huge.
It's huge.
This is a huge blow to the ever increasing communistic agenda, like the slow march through the institutions.
This right here could kill ESG.
Oh, just like that. And
which is great.
If
if corporations markets are open. Dow Jones is down 54. Oh, it's not as bad of an open as it was looking there about an hour ago. So the Dow Jones is down 41 points, NASDAQ down 24, and the S&P is down 2 points. Oil, $108 a barrel. It's up 2.43%. Gold is down, silver's down. Ooh, $19, $19.60. I'm going to have to buy some silver today. Bitcoin. Shall we have a look? Do we want to have a look?
yes, we do.
Bitcoin, 19,282. Ethereum, 1,050. Oh, up 2.87% on Ethereum.
Oh.
216 BNB. Let's see what else we got here. Dogecoin, 6.5. Cardano, 45 cents. XRP's at still at 31 cents. It hasn't broken the 30 cent level yet. I think it still might. Let's see, Avalanche, $16.05. Litecoin, $50.77.
Not too terrible.
Bad. Nope. All right. Looking good. Not too bad. Markets might go positive here, and they are.
Are they?
They just were, yeah.
Ooh.
S&P just went positive. Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good start to the new half year, the new quarter. We'll see where it goes last.
Yeah, they were saying because this is the worst
half year in
since like the 70s.
Yeah, since the 70s, in like 50-something, 52 years. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good last 6 months.
For everything.
For everything.
The worst start to the year ever for cryptocurrency or something like that. Since 2011, it hasn't been this bad. And then everything else, bonds, stocks, the only thing that's up is basically oil. Even gold isn't like doing as well as it should.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised now that all these awesome things are happening in the country, like specifically in America, because there's a lot of good going on, that things just start going up now.
Yeah.
Like improving.
That'd be good. That would be good for my portfolio.
It would be good for your portfolio. So agree with that.
Next. Why I tip my landlord.
Oh my gosh. You gonna read it out?
No.
Oh, come on, for the people
Eviction
only
law
listening.
is bad. He replied before I was devastated. Here's a man who put it all on the line to own some land and let people live on it. I put a blanket around him and left him a $100 bill and returned to my bed. Tip your landlord, everybody.
First of the month.
Next. It is true. I have a Zoom wallet. XRP to the moon, Charles. 31 cents. I bought in at 33, 39. Should buy some more. 5 reasons Bitcoin had its worst quarter in more than a decade. Since 2011. Let's see it. Bitcoin just had its worst quarter since 2011 and its worst month on record. The world's largest cryptocurrency lost about 58% of value in the second quarter of 22. Around $1.2 trillion has been wiped off the entire cryptocurrency market. Amid the chaos, crypto firms have announced layoffs and the industry is moving toward consolidation via acquisitions. Here are 5 flashpoints that hit the cryptocurrency industry last quarter. Continue. Macroeconomic pressure. During the first quarter, the U.S. Federal Reserve carried out 2 aggressive interest rate hikes to battle rampant inflation. That has sparked fears of a recession in the U.S. and other countries. It has also hit stocks, in particular high-growth technology names. So Bitcoin has been closely correlated to the price movement of U.S. stock indexes, which is crazy. I mean, crypto is supposed to be the, safe haven. Next. Terra USD collapse, which this is, yeah. USDT was governed by an algorithm and a complex system of burning and minting coins. That system failed. Terra USD lost its dollar peg and brought on the demise of the associated token Luna, which became worthless. Hedge funds, Three Arrows Capital was liquidated. Next. Lender Celsius pauses withdrawals. This is obviously a huge concern when a cryptocurrency lender, pauses withdrawals. You can't take your money out. It's just like when a bank pauses, when there's a bank run and they say we can't take any money out. That obviously causes huge concern. Next. Three Arrows Capital liquidation. Next. And CoinFlex, Bitcoin, Jesus. What? I didn't know that was in there. Cryptocurrency exchange CoinFlex halted customer withdrawals last month, citing extreme market conditions. Oh, okay. I see. It's like, what are they talking about? So that's another, and they're not the only ones. There's a bunch of them that halted withdrawals, and then some of them that said there's just too much traffic on the blockchain for them to be able to process transactions like BNB, which I think was actually them pausing withdrawals and saying that as an excuse so that the market could recover a little bit.
Interesting.
Next. Yes, by Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is...
What's
you do
that?
not talk about Fight Club.
Talk about Fight
First
Club?
rule of Fight Club is...
It's a movie.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
Oh, don't.
I don't know.
First rule of Fight Club is...
Oh, I thought that was
do
Brendan.
not talk
But it
about Fight
was
Club.
too.
I thought he was talking to the mic up there, but all right, next. Continue. Despite looming sanctions and import bans, Russia exported $97.7 billion worth of fossil fuels in the first 100 days since its invasion of Ukraine, at an average of 977 million per day. So which fossil fuels are being exported by Russia and who's importing these fuels? The infographic below, via visual capitalists Nicolo Conte and Govind Putada, tracks the biggest importers of Russian fossil fuels exports during the first 100 days of the war based on data from the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Let's see it. So there we have it. The global... Oh, let's see. Do we have that graphic? There was a graphic in there that showed like what... There we go.
There we are.
These are reductions in monthly import volumes.
Ooh.
So the US, Sweden, Lithuania, Egypt, Germany, only 8%. Do you have the other one, the other graphic in there that shows which country has been importing the most? Cool, will do. Japan, 50%. EU has only decreased it by 16% as a whole. Netherlands down 5%.
That Germany marker is interesting to me. It's only 8% for how much they're throwing out everything they can
There you
against
go.
Russia.
Who's financing the war in Ukraine? Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, France.
Jeez.
Look at that. They were all saying, "Oh, India's going to increase their purchases." Mm-hmm. Hey, they're what's that? A quarter of what Germany did. Imports in the first 100 days of the invasion, February 24th through the June 4th. What is that? $12.5 billion worth from Germany.
Dang.
Pipeline gas making up the most of it, but also crude oil and oil products. A little bit of coal too. Right?
That's
and then they're all meeting at the
crazy.
G7 meetings
Yes.
and talking about, yeah. It's insane.
It's such a farce, honestly.
I bet you they won't put this on the news in Germany. Next. Forget rate hikes. These analysts are predicting interest rate cuts next year. So everybody, this is not the first article I'm seeing. There's a bunch of people who are talking about interest rate cuts already for next year.
Really? Interesting.
What they're going to do is they're going to basically cause like a contraction in the market, almost like a soft recession over the summer, and then leading into midterms. What they're going to do is they're going to, that's what they're saying. Obviously, this could all be conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
That they're going to, we'll see what happens, but that they're going to decrease interest rates.
Yep.
And then the market's going to go up into midterms, so it looks like,
Yeah.
like we saved the economy.
Robust economy is
Yes.
back. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. They've done it before.
Yeah.
They'll do it again.
All right, next. FTX closes in on a deal to buy and battle crypto lender BlockFi for $25 million in a fire sale, source says. By Kate Rooney, by Crooney, at Crooney. Next. I've had too much coffee.
It's almost
this
like
morning.
a dad joke, eh?
It is. FTX is swooping in to buy crypto lender BlockFi for pennies on the dollar. The term sheet is almost over the finish line and expected to be signed by the end of the week, according to 3 sources who asked not to be named because the deal discussions were confidential. FTX is expected to pay roughly $25 million, one source said, 99% below BlockFi's last private valuation. If cryptocurrency goes down anymore, I'll be able to buy one of these companies. Give you $200 for it. Another person with direct knowledge of the deal pegged the price closer to 50 million. Jersey City, New Jersey-based BlockFi was last valued at 4.8 billion according to PitchBook. So that's what shows you like how crazy valuations were last year.
Yeah.
Insane. The price tag could shift between now and Friday, the source said. An acquisition could also take multiple months to close. The person added that the deal could end up being options to acquire BlockFi at a later date pending regulatory approval. So FTX and others, BNB, Coinbase, I guarantee you we're going to see more of this consolidation here in the cryptocurrency market, where they're going to be buying, exchanges and different companies in the cryptocurrency space. Today's Canada Day?
It is Canada Day.
Well, happy Canada Day to everybody.
Soon to be called...
Except for Trudeau.
Yes. Soon to be called China Day.
China Day?
Very, very
Is that what they're
slowly.
saying?
Yeah, there's a bunch from my city back in Canada, former city. They're all saying that we should cancel Canada Day. Like legit groups are like, it should be National Day or New Day. So they want to rebrand Canada Day as something else. Yeah, but happy Canada Day, nonetheless.
Yes, happy Canada Day, everybody.
Canada Korea. I like that better. I like that
North
better.
Canada Korea.
Yeah.
All right, next. The only thing holding you back from being a billionaire is 3 simple problems.
Oh gosh.
Stay grind. There's some inspiration for you, everybody. It's the only thing holding you back is those 3 commas.
Oh my
Next.
word.
Panera SPAC, USHG acquisition and partnership deal as Panera IPO is now unlikely. So we talked about this, I think at the beginning of the year or maybe end of last year, that Panera was looking to go public. But I think with everything that's going on in the markets right now, looks like they might not be going public. Next. Argentinian tax agency ramps up digital wallet seizures. I didn't like this when I saw it. Tax regulators around the world are becoming more and more aware of the different ways in which taxpayers can hide their funds to avoid paying taxes. Yes, they're our funds. The Argentinian tax agency, the AFIP, has been busy taking control of the digital wallets of debtors to the institution. These digital wallets pay your taxes, everybody. These digital wallets are custodial services provided by fintech companies, but that doesn't mean that you can't, use every law and regulation that they have
Yes.
to pay as little as you possibly can
And any
until they change
loopholes.
those. Exactly.
A bunch of the people creating the policies utilize loopholes as well.
Use those.
You should too.
These digital wallets are custodial services provided by fintech companies to third parties that in some ways are not directly related to banks. The basis for the seizures were established in February when the AFIP included these in the list of seizable assets. So they are going to, this is one thing, cryptocurrency is supposed to be something that they can't see, something that they can't take. That's why it was created. That's why it's good for you to get a hardware wallet that you can keep your cryptocurrencies on. I have one, I have a Trezor. What's the other one called? Ledger that you can get. It's a hardware wallet. It's like a little USB that you plug into your computer and you can keep your cryptocurrencies on there. Next. All my crypto is negative return. If I wanted to get rid of it, would I have to pay them? Pay taxes? You don't have to. If you have a negative return on cryptocurrency, you don't have to pay taxes on it. I think actually with what they included last year, you can take a loss and you can actually write some of that loss off on your
Really?
taxes if you sold, yes.
Wow.
Next. Deutsche Bank
Oh dear.
predicts Bitcoin rising to 28,000 by the end of the year. Crypto free fall could continue. What do they know? The world's most corrupt bank.
Yep.
Let's see it. Deutsche Bank has reportedly predicted that the price of Bitcoin, well, let's not say corrupt. Most scandalous.
Yes, when they're taken to court so many times and lose.
Yes.
Corrupt.
Well, scandal. Scandal after scandal.
All
Let's
right.
just put it that way.
All right. Fine.
Bloomberg reported Wednesday, citing an analysis of the bank's senior economist and market strategist Marion Labour in French, and research analyst Galina Pozdat. Based on their analysis, Bitcoin's price will rally 38% from the current price of 2329. Well, that's even more than now. It's about 40%. Given how closely Bitcoin has been trading with US stocks, they noted that cryptocurrencies have been correlated to the benchmarks like the tech-heavy NASDAQ, S&P 500 since November. The S&P 500 is down 21% since the beginning of the year. The Deutsche Bank strategists expect the index to recover to January levels by the end of the year. Labour and that likened Bitcoin to diamonds rather than gold, the publication conveyed. They referenced the tale of De Beers, a major company in the diamond industry that was able to change consumer perception about diamonds through advertising efforts. Interesting. Interesting that they would say that. So yeah. Is Bitcoin going back to 28,000? We'll see. I mean, it is going to recover. I don't know how much. It might be one of those situations like we saw from 2017 through 2019, where it was just sort of like trading in a range and then it went up from there.
Interesting.
Next. That's it?
Cool.
Awesome. All right, some stocks to research for everybody. Got a couple today. So I took a look at Star Peak Mining Company, which is a over-the-counter stock. The last financial report I could find on their website was from July 2021. So this is a mining company, Canadian-based mining company. They are in the exploration phase, so they're still, drilling for samples and things like that. They had a $10 million loss in fiscal 21. Most of that loss was due to exploration costs. Could potentially be a good investment since they are finding a good amount of different metals in their exploration zones. They found zinc, copper, and gold. Since they're trading over the counter at 91 cents here in the US, I think it's $1.15 Canadian. Why not put some money into it? I feel they need to have some sales. This is just, my observation. So if I want to invest in this company as more than just like a, almost like a gamble, I feel they need to have some sales or put a mine into production or be close to putting a mine into production before I would consider this a long-term play with any more value to it. They're based in Canada, and this is one of the risks I see with all the ESG regulations and the insanity that is happening in Canada right now. No offense.
No, that's true. It's true.
This could potentially affect the mining sector.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to be shut down before they is there going to be different things that they have to do? This is Star Peak Mining Company. Star Peak Mining Company. So take a look at that one. It's only 91 cents. It's traded over the counter, so you can't get it on Robinhood or Cash App. You'd have to trade it on TD Ameritrade, Schwab, or one of the other ones. Some other ones to research. I own HPQ. I own that stock. I bought some of it. Dell, I've been looking at. I think they're getting down into the valuation where it might be, good to buy into some of those companies. They've got over a 2% dividend yield. Dell does. So it could be a good, long-term hold, especially since I don't think they'll be going anywhere. They're selling servers, all sorts of things. The other one that I'm in is IBM. I've been looking at buying some more of IBM as well. I missed out on a buying opportunity, a couple of weeks ago, but I might add some more to my position due to the relatively large dividend yield at 4.67%. This is a very long-term hold for me. IBM is 10 plus years. That is my plan on holding them. They are also a huge company with development in cloud computing, development in AI, artificial intelligence, and then, servers, things like that, that with the more and more interconnected and the more devices that come online, companies like IBM should do well way into the future. So IBM, I'm not getting a Dell. I have an HP right here.
HP rules.
HP. Yes, Rio Tinto is a good company too. I've been invested in Rio Tinto. I've been invested in Vale, VALE, which is a Brazilian mining stock that I also like very much. They've got a huge dividend yield.
And if I can say, like with regards to like the Canadian stock, Trudeau has just increased every year now. They're increasing their carbon tax.
Yeah.
But it's not just a carbon tax. They're going after any natural resource, anybody in the natural resource sector. So just be, like you were saying, very cautious because essentially he's going down the route that Biden was going down.
Yeah.
But our Supreme Court would never rule like SCOTUS did down here. So just be very aware.
That's one of the biggest things for mining companies. But here's the thing, I don't know if they, think about what they're doing or if it's just like, oh, this is political, this polls good, so this is what we're going to do. Because if you take the mining sector out, if you take them out, there's no more financing for them, whatever, civilization collapses.
Yes.
There's always been mining. So how are you going to build electric cars?
Good question.
How are you going to build your cameras to, do facial recognition on your population? If you can't mine for all those precious metals, you can't make chips, and then you can't make all those cameras, electric vehicles, whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
They need to back off this whole ESG thing is what they need to do. Yeah, you need metals for digital passports. You need it for everything. Mining isn't everything. And then petroleum too. Petroleum is in clothing, in shoes, in plastics. What are you going to do? Just, maybe they're trying to bring everybody back to the Stone Age or something. Yes, IBM they are a servicing company. IBM is sort of like in the background. Not a whole lot of people talk about them. They're just in the background, but it's a huge organization. And their stock is fairly good, a good value for the size company they are. With cloud computing, they're also obviously data mining and things like that too. Just like Google and Apple,
they're always innovating.
Yeah, but they're not like it's not like the IBM CEO said this. Like you always hear about Google and Apple and Meta and all of these others. But IBM, I like IBM. And in what you said, what my price target is, I don't really have a price target for it. I'm not going to sell it. I'm holding it. I'm holding it for the long term, 10 plus years. And then, I'll reevaluate at that point. So what I'm doing is I'm adding to my IBM position. I got dividend reinvestments going. So all the dividends that I get from IBM just buys me more shares and it just keeps compounding.
What was Sandra's asking what the ticker symbol was for the company, mining company?
Star Peak. Oh, hold on. Star Peak Mining Company. It is STRPF over the counter. STRPF, and on the Toronto Stock Exchange, it's STE. So if your platform, if you're able to trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange, it's STE. And then OTC in the US or anywhere else in the world, it's STRPF. STRPF. Yes, it's a boring company with staying power. Chevy taking a hit with the electric cars catching on fire. Yeah.
Same with Tesla. Have you seen?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They need to work on the safety of them. I read another article that I thought was pretty interesting. Oh, we gotta wrap it up here.
Gotta wrap it up.
Another article that said that by 2025, GM and Ford should pass Tesla in sales of electric vehicles.
Really? Interesting.
We'll see if that happens. Awesome, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. John asks, with the economical political challenges in Canada today, which sectors are hurting the most? We'll take a look at that. We'll talk about that. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you'd like to invest in Revival today, we'll give you an opportunity to do that now. Here are the ways that you can do that. Hashtag donate on Facebook, text to give, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can always go to revivaltoday.com/give. You can also give by cryptocurrencies. Scan that QR code right there. And then you can also send a check. Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. What are we doing for an offer today? Crypto Island. Welcome to Crypto Island.
One day you're gonna have to show up to check the market like that.
Yeah.
Just someday.
So we'll send that to you as a thank you for investing in Revival today. And I just saw a question about silver. Where do I buy silver? I'm going to go over that next week with you. So thank you, everybody. That is true. We should add Matea in there too. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes.
Happy 4th of July and happy Canada Day. Go out there and make some money today, and we will see you all next week.